you like rally? Me personally, I love rally, and I love the golden eras of rally, which is Group B. Now, if you think back to Group B, there was one car that literally made the soundtrack to Group B, and that's the Audi Quattro, the 2.5 5-cylinder engine that defined rally of the 80s. Now, that engine still lives on, and it lives on today in the Audi RS Q3. It is one of 3 products that still have this engine in it today. So kudos to Audi for building a WRC engine from 30 years ago and putting it in an SUV for your mum and your friends to drive on the weekend. It's pretty awesome. So yeah, what is this car? It is basically a small SUV that's a bit old now, that's got the heart of a WRC car. 290 odd kilowatt, 480 newton meters, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. It is a fast family dog hauler. But is it as good as an RS3, or is it the cop out that you buy because your wife or your partner said, I want the car that my neighbor has, the one that's off the ground? Is it that? Is it the cop out, or a real deal, bona fide hot hatch on stilts? Well, that's what we're going to do today, is find it out. We're going to open the bonnet, check out that 5-cylinder engine, look at the interior, fill up the boot. We're not going to lift it on a hoist today because it's a bit boring underneath and basically a Q3. And lastly, we'll hit the road and hit some twisties to see whether the Audi RS Q3 has enough of that WRC flavour to make yourself have some dignity. Sorry, I should have some dignity. Give yourself some dignity, or you should have some dignity when you drive it because it's a soccer mum's car. Hang on, let me rephrase that. Do you have any dignity when you drive an SUV that's got a 5-banger? Let's fucking find out, guys. Before we pop the bonnet, let's quickly talk about price and spec. The lovely guys and girls at Audi Australia give us this wonderful card that tells us all we need to know. So today we are driving the Audi RS Q3 Sportback Edition 10 years. It's a limited edition car, this one. It's got some fancy seats and some fancy wheels and some fancy paint. It costs $102,900 before on-roads and has 0 options. The first Audi in the world that you don't pay for some wheels and a steering wheel. I love that, guys. Well done. Keep it up. Let's have a look under the bonnet and check out that 5-banger. Under the bonnet here lies the engine we all want to know about, the 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine that shares its roots and DNA with Stig Blomqvist's short wheelbase yellow and white Audi that tore through the forests all through Europe. This engine is an absolute star. Some unique features about it. As a 5-cylinder, it fires 2 cylinders up, then 3 cylinders up. 2, then 3. That's why it sort of makes an interesting noise and sounds like it's almost a harmony. Sounds like a Kirk Hammett guitar solo, this one. When you get on it, there's a bit of high and low, and there are 2 melodies being played simultaneously almost, and it creates a harmony. This engine is like an instrument. It's also quite interesting too because it makes a lot of torque, 480 newton meters, but also revs to almost 8 grams. It's sort of got that weird balance of a small 4-cylinder, but the torque of a 6. It is a real unique powertrain, this, and even the firing order is different to the Volvo engine you find in a Focus RS or XR5. So yeah, this one does sound different to the Volvo engine that we all love as well, purely because of the firing order. So if you really want to sound like Stig Blomqvist in the forest, you've got to buy a 4-ringed 5-cylinder purely because of the firing order, because that's how you get the nice noise. So there you go. Nearly 300 kilowatt, 480 newton meters, 0 to 100 in 4.5 seconds. It's an absolute beast and it sounds incredible as well. So that's enough about this powertrain. Let's jump in the cabin and check out the interior because everyone loves a flash Audi because it's full of fucking blingy lights and fancy leather and diamond stitching and all that shit that we love, including buttons that click everywhere. Let's go have a look. All right, inside the Audi RS Q3. To be honest, not much has changed with this car over the last millennium. It's quite old in here and it feels that way too. But let's talk about what we do like. Firstly are these seats. They are carbon fiber back. They are super lightweight and they're part of this special edition. They're really comfortable. They've got this fancy stitching and they're just fantastically bolstered and epic. But look at this, guys. I'm in a base model Polo. Look at this sliding around on the seat rail. Not even electric seats in a $100,000 RS Audi. Really? That seems a bit basic. Almost as basic as this. You ready for this? Look at me just flap around my gear shifter from a 20-year-old Polo. Even a base model Golf has a fly-by-wire electric shifter that's akin to a 911. And that's a $28,000 car. Honestly, I feel like that's just a bit shit. You're gonna touch it every day you drive the car. And look at how tall it is. It's dorky and just not sporty at all. But yeah, there you go, that sucks. What else is kind of interesting? Love the steering wheel, thin-rimmed Alcantara. Love the RS button. That one touch puts you into RS mode. You get the hockey stick, tacho, boost gauge, power gauge, G meter, all the mad shit in front of you. Very cool. I love that interface. Touchscreen is pretty good. Climate control, again, looks like it's from 10 years ago. There are some touch points in this car that just feel old. It's a new car, but it's got old things in it, which is a bit of a letdown. And lastly, every time you go to drive this car, you're going to feel like you're a gangster with a switchblade from 2004, because this is the same key from an old Audi from literally 10 years ago. And I know little things like welds underneath the car and a key doesn't matter, but as an owner, when you pay, you know, 100 grand for the car and they're like, here's your key, and you're like, is this the Hertz rental car that I'm supposed to drive home until my car comes? No, it's your new Audi, it says RS. But yeah, I think the key could be a bit better considering the type of car it is and how much it cost. But yeah, there you go, great digital gauge cluster, infotainment, wireless CarPlay, a bunch of stuff there that works. And also, one more thing, it has a Sonos sound system. Sonos makes speakers that I used to have in my house once upon a time, and they're interesting, but in a car, it's an interesting point that I've had to listen to them. They sound okay, but yeah, the branding is a bit unusual, but there you go. There you go, sorry. Sonos speakers in your Audi RS. Stereo's okay, wireless charger, ratcheting armrest, which is kind of cool, you can put your elbow on drive. Yeah, ergonomic, but old and a bit crappy. Let's jump in the back and see how much space there is. Over in the back of the Audi RS Q3, space is a bit short, to be fair. It is a small SUV and a sportback, so it's got a coupe roof, so you do feel a bit squashy in the back. I'm 6'1", 180 centimeters, and look, this is my driving position. My feet can get out underneath, my knees are quite close to the seat back when I start to stretch out, and the headlining is a bit low and does impede on my sort of headroom too. The door line is here and my head is above it, so you do feel a bit squashed and a bit claustrophobic. What else is there back here? You've got a view of these amazing carbon seats. I think they're really awesome, they look cool. 2 air vents, which is nice to see, 2 USB-C ports, a 12 volt. You've also got a reclining backrest too. I'll show you that you can sort of, you know, you can sit like this if you want, because it's really comfortable to sit like this in a car, but no, oh sorry, that's where it locks, because this is how you ideally should be sitting, like a fucking idiot. But let me just lower it back. So yeah, you can recline the armrest. We'll just, yeah, as I say here, I've got my bear friend here because I've had children in this car, so I've had 2 seats here, a forward facing seat and a rearward facing seat. I have a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old. Both fit okay. Rearward facing can be a bit of a pain to load a child, but forward facing is easy. So that's why the bear's here. Now let's quickly squash the bear and reveal the last thing about the back, which is a pair of cup holders for your beverages. So yeah, there you go. Bit squashy in the back, room for kids, sort of okay, reclining backrest and some air vents. What we're going to do now is going to whiz over to Jack's Tyres, because we run a workshop here and we've got to test the boot space, and I've got a set of 18-inch wheels that are getting some tyres replaced on by Jack's Mittagong. So let's whiz over there and see how they fit in the back. And after that, let's hit the road and drive this Audi RS Q3 and see what we think about it. Let's go. As you can see, we only managed to fit 2 18-inch single-piece cast wheels in the back of the Audi RS Q3. The boot is a little bit small, so what we're going to do now is lower the seats and get the rest of them in, because we've got to take them back to the shop. Alright, behind the wheel of the Audi RS Q3. Now this is a family SUV, so let's start with what it's like in normal mode, on a bumpy road, going to school. We're about to enter a school zone here. And to be honest, the ride quality in regular mode, with the suspension set to soft, is pretty good. This is our control bumpy road, doing about 40 k's an hour here through the school zone. We'll speed up on the other end of it. And look, the car does follow the road, but you're always going to get that with performance cars. We said it a lot here, you feel this sort of bumpiness. It's not really bumpiness, it's just the car being firm and following the road a bit. And sort of in this car, it does go up and down, left, right, and all 4 corners. It does jiggle your fat bits a little bit, not heaps, but a little bit in this car. So yeah, ride quality is probably a 7.5 out of 10 in normal mode. Just past the school zone, they will dial it up. Yeah, honestly, it's a really livable car, this. It's quite quiet. The powertrain is quite docile in regular mode. And you can see how Audi have sort of made this car a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde sort of package, really. Designed for your partner who doesn't like cars to cruise around in and feel happy that they're in an SUV like their neighbour. And it's for you who likes cars to then press this button here, Audi RS, put it into sport mode, bang it down a gear and give it a bit of a you know, wail on it a bit, and just have a listen to this, guys. I love the sound of this engine, I really do. This 5-cylinder powertrain just reminds me of Group B Rally. If you watched Rally, if you watched Stig Blomqvist flying through the forest in an Audi Quattro, this is the soundtrack to Rally. and you're getting it in this car. This engine has the same firing order as a WRC car from 30 years ago. It sounds the same. I love that about it. But interestingly, the powertrain is a bit flat feeling. It's hard to explain really. Like, I'll go right here and give it a jab up the hill and you can sort of just see how flat it, I guess I can convey how flat it feels. But let me just get out of here really quickly. Oh, no, better not take that. We'll cut that bit out because that's me being a bit rash. Barrel traffic. How many times have we encountered traffic and barrel on a Monday or a Tuesday at 10 o'clock? What are these people doing? Too many times. What are these people doing?
Don't they know we're recording?
Yeah. This is a a set. Get out of the way. It's not a public road. This is madness. That's the mailman. He's a good dude. Literally, it is. He's a good dude. He's around the corner from me. Alright, let's get up in a bit. It doesn't make me smile. Like, it sort of just gets on the turbo and boost, wastegate cracks. It makes torque and it just feels really flat all the way to the red line, like it's a little bit encumbered by something. It's interesting. I love this engine for the way it sounds. I love the sort of torque it makes. It has a big mid-range, comes on hard from about 2200 to about 4000 and strong, but from about 5 to 7 it's just a bit flat. The torque starts to taper off, the power isn't significantly high enough where it starts to push, and it just feels a little bit flat. It's interesting. It's not necessarily a charismatic engine to use. It reminds me more of like a workhorse sort of motor. It makes a lot of torque and it sort of just gets it done. It's interesting. You sort of think about how this engine was created. It was created to drive in the snow and in the mud in rally. So they were pretty much torque is its defining factor. Big wheel turning force to push it through arduous terrain. A rally car, right? So yeah, in a road car, it just does feel a bit flat. And it does, yeah. I guess the reason why I'm waxing lyrical about this, or carrying on I should say, is that it is my favourite part about this car, is the noise it makes and the history of the powertrain, but I feel a bit of dissonance because the engine's not that nice to enjoy. It's not as nice even as a 2-litre 4-cylinder EA 888 that you'll find in a Golf R. Even that engine has a bit more sparkliness up top and is a bit more enjoyable to drive. But yeah, sadly, in and around town and the odd poke, this engine is a bit boring. But what we're going to do now is go over to our highest speed area, thread it through some corners and see how we feel about it. There's that flat powertrain again. It sounds amazing, but it's bloody flat feeling and not very charismatic. Yeah, honestly, this car is really confident to drive, I've got to say. We owned a Golf 7R for a while in my family, and it was a really, really, really good car. I hated it because it was boring, but bloody hell, down a back road, rain, hail or shine, it was fast and consistent, and this car is just like that. You get in it, the steering is dialed, the way the car feels is dialed. It feels like something you can get in and just wheel really hard and enjoy, and then you've just got that theme tune to Group B in the back. It's so good. I love this engine for the way it sounds. It literally, you pretend to be Stig Blomqvist driving through the forest in your Group B Audi rally car. That's why you buy this engine, you know. Volkswagen and Audi Group build a lot of parts bin specials, right? Audi S3, Golf R, Porsche Taycan, Audi e-tron S, Lamborghini Urus, Audi RS Q3. They're all the same car, just skinned differently and made in different countries, but they're made with the same parts and ingredients, and they feel that way. You can't uncalibrate it out. The only one that's a little bit different, I'd say, is Huracan and R8. They feel very different, but made from the same parts. But what makes the Audi RS Q3 individual and special is that powertrain, that 2.5 litre 5-cylinder engine with the same firing order as the Group B rally car. It's only found in this car, the RS3 and the TTRS. It's an Audi exclusive engine. It's an engine that you've got to come to Audi RS for, and yeah, it really makes the car feel unique. So there you go, there's another massive piece of groundbreaking information for Volkswagen Audi Group and others. If you build a unique engine for a car, it might feel unique, it might feel different to the others, there you go. But that's why you come here, because this powertrain, it stinks of rally, it smells of rally, it sounds of rally, it is rally because it has the same firing order as the rally car engine, it's made by the same people, and it really adds flavour to this car. It makes it just, I love it the way it sounds. It's the one time I will smiles when I dig it into a corner and power out of it, pretending to be Water Roll or Stig Blomqvist. But yeah, it's a cool car, this. It's very competent. The powertrain is a bit boring. It doesn't rev nicely. It doesn't like sparkle up top and tickle your balls and make you go, this car's mad. It just sort of goes and sounds flat and and feels flat. Sounds flat. I don't mind the noise. I love the noise, sorry. But it is a flat sounding. It's very baritonal almost, like it's a bit deep, trebly, a bit of harmony. Interesting, I'd call it. One of my friends once referred to it as half a Gallardo, and I sort of understand that because it does sound like half a V10 because it technically is one. But yeah, interesting sound, but yeah, a bit flat feeling. Car's really competent, a bit dry, so it's sort of like a Golf R with way more ability. So yeah, honestly, why you are here is just for that powertrain. If you want the idea of a car partner drives and loves, impresses her mates, and you get on a back road and show your son or daughter what Group B Rally was about, this is a really cool car for that. And you'll definitely get it past the gatekeeper when it comes to spending 120 grand on it too, because look, it does the job. Driveway game looks good, curbside game looks good, powertrain game's on point. Everyone's a winner on this one, I think. My favourite thing about this car has to be its powertrain. This WRC Group B powertrain is steeped in history, and this car definitely reminds me of driving an Audi Group B rally car, which I've had the privilege to do once upon a time. Ignore my friend the bird there. What don't we like about it? Well, to be honest, the powertrain is a bit flat feeling. It sounds amazing, but it's not charismatic. And it doesn't even feel as good as a Golf R powertrain. It's a bit fizzy up top. But all of that aside, it is a really competent family car, which sounds like a rally car. And to me, if you can afford it, makes it probably one of the best daily drivers you can get for around $100,000. So yeah, if you want to relive Audi's Group B memories, buy this car. If you want a sharp driving tool that's got a bit of nuance to it, buy something else. But we all know your wife wants it and you want an RS3 and you can't have it, so just buy this one, guys. It's a pretty good car.